Life's problems have their own schedule. So do you. When you need someone to talk to, Serena is there. Follow the link in the description for your free trial.
Am I the asshole for saying I won't come to Christmas at my in-laws if I can't wear a hat? This is a petty little thing, but maybe you guys can help me know if I was in the wrong? For context, I, 25F, got married in November. My mill doesn't really like me, even trying to steal the spotlight at my wedding, but is still overly traditional. At Thanksgiving, I was having a really bad hair day, so I wore a black leather cap, a dressier newsboy-style one, which my husband said looked great on me. The holiday was hostile, even more so than prior gatherings I'd been to, and hubby said Mill said it was because I wore a hat, but I know it was just an excuse. I told Mill I wouldn't come to Christmas with them, then blocked her number and Facebook. My husband is trying to keep us both happy since he doesn't like conflict. He wants me to come to one more celebration to see if maybe people are getting used to me. He's told Mill she needs to be nice and treat me as part of the family since I am, and that if I feel unwelcome at Christmas like I did at Thanksgiving, that we won't attend future events and she see him much anymore. I understand why he wants me to give her one final chance and haven't had any conflict with him. Marriage is about compromise, and I get that he doesn't want to cut her off since she's his mother, but I just don't want to be involved with her unless I have to be. I wanted to see if Mill was listening to him, so I asked my husband to request that I be allowed to wear the same hat to Christmas. Hubby said he thought I'd worn it since I had a bad hair day, but this time it's as a statement that they shouldn't treat me as an outsider, either because I wear hats all the time. Right now it's just a sports visor, which I'd never wear to a holiday, so it's not like I'm doing that, or they just don't like me. If they won't let me wear a hat, what else are they going to restrict about me? Let me be me or I won't come. Period. My husband agreed and relayed this to Mill, and she's been asking him why he married the devil. He's growing tense with me, and I told him he'll probably have to pick a side sooner or later and that I never intended it that way. He spent last night at a friend's house because he needed to think. I feel bad because I care about him and no conflict stresses him out. I told him to text me when he was ready to talk. He hasn't yet. My friends think that my hat request was unnecessary, and maybe I strained my relationship with my husband. I think he just needed space to think because conflict stresses him out, so I gotta ask. Am I the asshole for saying I won't come if I don't wear a hat? Update. My husband just texted me saying he just got off the phone with his mother. He told her off for calling me the devil, and said that if I can't wear a hat, he's not coming either, and that she really should get over her antiquated BS. She did not respond well. I don't think we're going to Christmas there now, so maybe we'll have a friendmas? IDK. We'll think of something. Everyone sucks here. You took a situation that could have been a first step toward a less contentious relationship with your Mill and made demands which intentionally antagonized her. Of course you should be able to wear whatever you want, and your Mill is being insane in this situation. But do you want to be right, or do you want peace in your family? You are the asshole. You're literally trying to bait Mill. It's like you want a reaction from her. It's generally considered rude to be wearing a hat indoors while dining. And, bad hair day. It's a family get-together. Seems pretty immature to even be thinking about that. I'd expect it from a teenager maybe, but an adult? You're putting your husband in a shitty situation. Am I the asshole for kicking my ex out of my house right before Christmas and suing her? My ex and I divorced about 15 years ago, and we have shared custody of our daughter. In the divorce, she wanted our house, but I fought hard against it because it's been my family home for 3 generations before I inherited it. In the end we came to a compromise that was signed off by the judge. Basically she gets to live in the house rent-free until our daughter turns 18, then I get it back. I had to pay the utilities, maintenance, and property taxes the entire time. In addition, she can't make any modification or upgrades to the house without my written permission. She's solely responsible for the cost, and the work has to be performed by an insured and legally licensed professional. I've been sending her move-out notices for months in anticipation of my daughter's 18th birthday, and recently that came to pass. The day after I showed up to the house with a contractor because I wanted some work done before I moved back in. At first she refused to let me in until I reminded her that I'm the legal owner of the house. According to our divorce agreement signed by the judge, she's no longer allowed to be there, and I'll call the police if she doesn't let me in. She got the point and opened the door. I was surprised nothing was packed and it didn't seem like she's moving at all. We were arguing as I walked through and inspected my house. She wanted extra time and I told her to be out by the end of the week or I'll have her stuff thrown out. When I walked into the living room, I was shocked into silence. The living room was expanded by a wall being torn down and having the bedroom that was once there merged into it. She turned my 4BR house into a 3BR1. I know I didn't sign off on this, and from the looks of it, the work was probably done by her boyfriend and not a professional. I yelled at her and told her I'm going to sue her for everything she has, then I left. She went crying to our daughter and my family. Now everyone is telling me to give her another month to find a place and not to sue her. My daughter is firmly on her mother's side and thinks I'm the asshole for kicking her mother out a couple of weeks before Christmas and suing her. This is why I'm here. I think I'm right and legally I am right, but my daughter's opinion of me matters to me. Am I ta? Edit to answer common questions. 1. My daughter is a freshman in college and I rent her an apartment near campus where she lives by herself. She has a room in my house and I assume will have a room wherever her mother lives. 2. My ex fought for the house and had a chance of winning even though we had shared custody because I make much more than her. I offered her the compromise and she took it because her attorney told her it was a good deal and there's an equal chance I could win, which would leave her without a house. 3. My relationship with my daughter is good. She didn't tell me about the renovation because early on I told her I don't want to talk or hear anything about her mother unless it's something that's affecting her daughter negatively. My ex was dead to me and I wanted to spend time with my daughter building new memories. Edit to answer more questions. 1. My daughter is a wonderful girl and I couldn't ask for a better daughter. She has a big heart and cares about her mother. I've made it a point to never talk about her mother since the divorce, so I'm sure she doesn't fully understand our situation. I plan to talk to her. 2. I inherited the house during our marriage and since we were still in the honeymoon phase, I placed her name on the deed. After that, I remortgaged the house twice, once to get a better rate and once for money we needed. All of this led to my attorney advising I compromise. He said there's a real risk of losing the house, so I compromised. 3. Thank you for reading my post. I'll update as the situation progresses if anyone is interested. Not the asshole. The rules for this arrangement could not be more clear. I don't know where you live and the worth of your house, but where I live, there's a huge price difference between a 3-bedroom house and a 4-bedroom one. Your ex's action caused you to lose tens if not $100,000. Not the asshole and sue her. She has had 15 years to find alternative accommodation. You even sent her reminders, and she violated the agreement by having unauthorized work done? Yeah, hell no, kick her out. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. 1. Your ex had 15 years to figure out another living arrangement, not 2 weeks. 2. She remodeled your house without your permission. 3. I would honestly have police escort her and all her crap off the property, have her arrested for trespassing if she steps foot on the property again, and sue her for everything you possibly can. Am I the asshole for telling my gran the real reason I moved away? I, F31, grew up in a small village surrounded by other small villages. My family on my mum's side all live within 10 minutes of each other and we are all very close. I now stay in a village that's almost an hour's drive away. I moved in with my dad when I was 21 and got a good job here, so I bought my first home here. Now my dad's moved away and for the last couple of years I've been feeling extremely lonely. I'm too far away that my family never come and visit me, and I'm too far away that I don't get included in last-minute plans. My aunt, gran and younger cousin, F23, are forever going out for lunch or coffee, but I never get invited to these outings. Of course, any significant family event I'm there for. So the other day I was through visiting my gran and I was talking to her about how I feel sometimes. My gran said she could understand and she wished I had never left our hometown, but that had been my choice. I told her it was hardly my choice when I was the one who was kicked out my home. I only moved in with my dad because I had nowhere else I could go. My gran asked what I meant and I told her my stepdad had kicked me out when I was 21, so I didn't have a choice and I had to move in with my dad. She went quiet and didn't bring it up again, but later on that night I got a really angry phone call from my mum asking why I was bringing up something that happened 10 years ago. I asked my mum why she had lied in the first place. My gran got upset with my mum for covering up the fact my stepdad kicked me out of the home I'd grown up in and lied to the rest of the family about it. So am I the asshole for telling the truth? How dare you break the illusion that we have spent 10 years perfecting? I am outraged. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You just shared a fact. Your mum is the asshole for covering it up. Which suggests she's either embarrassed about that fact she let her husband kick you or she regrets it or something. Why else would she want to keep it a secret? Not the asshole. You told the truth. Your mom just liked that her lie was more convenient for her. Hope you can make more friends and life is a little less lonely. Less than 3. Not the asshole. You're never the asshole for telling the truth. Ever. In any situation. Whatever happens as a result of telling the truth is what should have happened to begin with. It was just delayed by liars and manipulators. Am I the asshole for asking my husband to stop waking up early to exercise while on vacation? My husband usually wakes up early so he can work out daily. During our vacation, our son was sleeping in the same bed as us as he wouldn't sleep otherwise. Every single time my husband got up to exercise, it would wake our son up, which meant I had to wake up at 5 a.m. too. A lot of the time our son would be in a bad mood from having been woken up early too, so it wasn't ideal. After the 4th day, I asked him to stop waking up early to exercise for the rest of our 2-week vacation. He told me he would be more careful not to wake our son up, but I told him our son would wake up as soon as he left the bed, so he had to stop. We argued over it, but he did eventually agree to stop reluctantly, even though it meant he couldn't exercise as much as he wanted to without missing time with his family, and it also meant he couldn't work out with his brother, which his brother was unhappy about. Was I the asshole for making him stop? Not the asshole. Your husband's desire to spend time with his brother is understandable, but if he lives with light sleepers, that's just how it is. Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices. You wanting to not be woken up at some off hour of the early morning is a completely reasonable request. Not the asshole if he is waking his son up at 5 a.m. He should be caring for his son at 5 a.m. Not the asshole. Don't wake up the 16-month-old at 5 a.m. He can either exercise at another time. Nah. You're not doing it to be mean, it's just a reality that you both have to deal with. If you're staying with family, you probably don't have much flexibility as to sleeping arrangements. But it seems like a separate bed would solve this. Maybe if a crack of dawn workout is important enough to your husband, he could choose the couch. Or a cot or room with 2 beds if you're in a hotel.